I had Vinci Zero sitting in my bank account. Then I realized I was losing the wealth game. For years, I thought I was doing everything right. I wasn't buying expensive cars. I wasn't spending every weekend at luxury restaurants. I wasn't chasing the newest gadgets. I had a simple goal: save as much money as possible. Every paycheck, I would open my banking app and move part of my income into my savings account. $100, $200, sometimes even more. Every time I saw that number increase, I felt like I was making progress. I felt responsible. I felt like an adult who finally had control over money. Then, one day, I opened my bank account and saw something I had been working toward for years: $20,000, just sitting there. At first, I felt proud, but then I looked closer. My bank was paying me around 0.5% interest. That meant my $20,000 was making roughly $100 a year. Meanwhile, everything around me was getting more expensive. My groceries cost more. My rent increased. Gas prices changed. The dollar sitting in my account was slowly losing buying power. That's when I started asking myself a question. Was saving money actually helping me build wealth? Or was I just protecting money that was slowly becoming worth less? This was the moment I realized something many Americans eventually discover: saving money and building wealth are not the same thing. Saving protects what you already have. Investing gives your money a chance to grow. And for years, I was only doing the first part. When I started researching how wealthy people actually build their money, I noticed something interesting. Most financially successful people weren't simply saving more. They were putting their money into assets: stocks, index funds, retirement accounts, businesses, real estate. Their money wasn't just sitting there waiting. It was working. And that was a completely different mindset. I grew up hearing advice like, save your money, don't take risks, keep cash for emergencies, and that advice wasn't wrong. Having savings is important. If your car breaks down, your company lays you off, or you face an unexpected medical bill, cash gives you protection. But the problem is when saving becomes the entire strategy, because inflation doesn't stop while your money is sitting still. If inflation averages around 3% and your savings account pays less than 1%, your account balance may look bigger, but your purchasing power is shrinking. The number goes up, the value goes down. That was the part nobody explained to me. I started looking at the difference between saving and investing through simple math. Imagine two people each have days zero. Person A keeps the money in a savings account earning %. After 20 years, that money grows slowly. It becomes around Z0. Person B invests the same days zero into a diversified stock market index fund and earns an average return closer to historical market averages. The final number can become dramatically different. The difference isn't because one person worked harder. They started with the same amount of money. The difference is where the money was placed. Money has a job. Cash has the job of keeping you safe. Investments have the job of creating growth. The mistake I made was asking my savings account to do both. But here's the part people don't talk about enough. The reason most people don't invest isn't because they don't understand numbers. It's because investing feels emotionally uncomfortable. Saving feels predictable. You check your account. The number is still there. Nothing surprises you. But investing is different. One day your account might be up 500. A week later, it might be down 0. And if you turn on financial news during a market crash, every headline sounds like the world is ending. Stocks collapse. Investors panic. Market uncertainty grows. For someone new, watching your money drop feels like failure. But experienced investors understand something different. A falling market isn't always a disaster. Sometimes, it's simply a normal part of owning assets. The stock market has experienced recessions, crashes, wars, inflation periods, and financial crises. But over long periods of time, businesses continued growing and markets recovered. The biggest mistake many investors make is not losing money during a crash. It's selling because they're afraid. After understanding this, I stopped thinking about investing as gambling. Gambling is trying to predict the next winner. Investing is owning a piece of productive companies and allowing time to work. When I buy an index fund, I'm not trying to guess which company will become the next giant. I'm buying exposure to hundreds of companies at once: technology companies, healthcare companies, consumer brands, financial institutions, companies that millions of people use every day. Instead of betting everything on one company, I spread my risk across an entire market. That idea completely changed how I looked at investing. The first thing I did wasn't move all my savings into the stock market. That would have been a mistake. The transition from saving to investing needs a foundation. The first step was building my emergency fund. I kept enough cash to cover several months of expenses: rent, food, bills, transportation, unexpected problems. That money wasn't designed to make me rich. It was designed to keep me from making emotional decisions. Because one of the biggest reasons people lose money investing is not because their investment was bad. It's because life forced them to sell at the worst possible time. Someone loses their job, a medical expense appears, a major repair happens. Without emergency savings, they have no choice but to sell investments during a downturn. Cash protects your investments from your own emergencies. After that, I separated my money into two different categories. The first bucket was safety money. This money stayed boring. It wasn't trying to grow. It was there for protection. The second bucket was growth money. This was money I didn't need tomorrow. It was money with a long time horizon. Years, sometimes decades. Once I separated these two mentally, investing became much less stressful. I stopped checking my investment account every day. I stopped reacting to every headline. I understood that different money had different jobs. The next step was starting small. I used to believe investing required thousands of dollars. I thought wealthy people invested because they already had money. But the reality is, many people build wealth by starting with small consistent amounts, $50, $100, $300 per month. The amount matters less than the habit, because investing is not about one perfect decision. It's about repeating a good decision for a long time. This is where retirement accounts became important. Many Americans don't realize how powerful workplace retirement plans can be. A 401k isn't just a savings account. It's a system designed to help people invest automatically. Money comes directly from your paycheck. It gets invested before you have a chance to spend it. Many employers even offer matching contributions. That match is essentially extra compensation. But millions of workers leave that benefit unused because they don't understand how it works. The boring decisions often create the biggest results. The more I learned, the more I realized wealthy investing is actually incredibly boring. There are no exciting moments every day, no dramatic trades, no constantly checking stock prices, no trying to predict tomorrow's market. A lot of successful investing looks almost invisible. A monthly automatic contribution, a low-cost index fund, a retirement account quietly growing in the background. Most people wouldn't find it interesting, but that's exactly why it works. I started looking at compound growth differently. At first, investment growth seems slow. A few dollars, a few $100s, nothing impressive, but time changes everything. Imagine investing $300 every month. Over 25 years, you contribute a $90. With consistent growth, the final balance could become hundreds of thousands of dollars. The surprising part is that a large portion of the final amount doesn't come from what you personally put in. It comes from years of growth building on previous growth. That's the power of compounding. Your money starts earning money. Then that money starts earning money too. Of course, investing isn't always comfortable. There were times when I invested money and watched the market fall. There were days when financial experts argued about recessions. There were moments when people online said, "Get out before everything crashes." But I remembered why I invested. I wasn't investing for next week. I wasn't investing for next month. I was investing for a future version of myself. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, the market is unpredictable in the short term. But time is one of the biggest advantages an investor can have. Looking back, I don't regret saving money. Saving was the reason I had a foundation. It gave me security. It helped me handle emergencies. But saving was only the beginning. The mistake was believing that keeping money safe was the same as making money grow. Those are two different goals. Today, I still keep cash. I still value financial security, but now my money has different jobs. Some money protects me, some money grows me, and that simple change completely changed the way I think about wealth. Because the people who build long-term financial freedom usually aren't the ones chasing quick money. They're the ones who understand a simple idea. Money sitting still protects your past. Money invested wisely builds your future. And the earlier you understand that difference, the more time your money has to work for you.